Hello, Joana Colussi here with our 5-minute farmdoc daily about soybean trade in Brazil and Argentina, the two largest soybean producers in South America. The drought in Argentina had a significant impact on the flow of soybeans in 2023. Argentina became the unusual second leading destination for Brazilian soybeans in the first 7 months of the year, behind China. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to watch more farmdoc videos. Brazilian soybean exports reached 72 million tons in the first 7 months of 2023, an increase of 20% compared to the same period last year. The increase was driven mainly by China, which bought almost 70% of Brazilian soybean exports in this period. From January to July, Brazil's soybean exports to China rose to a record of 50 million tons, a 25% increase from the same period in 2022. Behind the Chinese demand, Brazilian soybean exports have soared because of the severe drought affecting the soybean in the last crop season in Argentina. From January to July, Brazil sold more than 3 million tons of soybeans to Argentina, more than 15 times the total amount exported to Argentina during the same period last year. An extreme drought affected the entire soybean production area in Argentina this year. Production was just 46% of the average of the previous 5 harvests, declining to around 20 million tons. Therefore, Argentina's soybean meal exports between January and July have fallen by 33% compared to the same period last year. Most of Argentina's soybeans are processed and exported as meal and oil. The drought in Argentina had a significant impact on the flow of soybeans in South America. From January to July, Argentina imported 7 million tons in order to fulfill contracts already signed for soybean oil and meal, more than double the average in the last 5 years in the same period. So, soybean grain imports by Argentina from Brazil increased 16-fold, while soybean grain imports from Paraguay increased 33%. However, there were few soybean grains imports from Uruguay. Uruguay and Argentina were the South American nations most affected by the drought. Argentina has been among the leading exporters of soybean meal and oil for more than 2 decades. However, the country is losing its top position as soybean meal export this season, giving up its place to Brazil, which has exported 20% more soybean meal than Argentina between January and July. In this period, Brazil exported 13 million tons of soybean meal and Argentina shipments total 10 million tons. China is likely to continue importing more soybeans from Brazil and possibly less from the United States, as the price of American crops have been rising due to decreasing supply expectations, while Brazil's output prospects remain strong and attractive. Also, China tends to buy more soybeans from Brazil than the US for geopolitical reasons. You can read more about that in an article written by me, Silvina Cabrini, Nick Paulson, Carl Zuloff, and Jill Baltz. The link is in the description of this video. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more farmdoc videos. See ya next time!